Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 1, going over a review as well as kind of giving you guys my thoughts on it. A lot of you guys were like, yo, Slaydra, what do you think of the season? Is it worth coming back into? I haven't played it in a couple seasons or chapters. Here, let's go ahead and start off with the weapons and kind of going over what's new as well. So it's going to be a video that's like what's new, my review, my thoughts, as well as like what the meta is for this season. So let's go ahead and go over weapons first. So in terms of weapons, there's a new like AK variant. It's basically forgettable. No one really picks it up. We don't really need to talk about this because it's basically like an AK variant. And then on top of that, there's the Striker Pump Shotgun. There is also the Auto Shotgun. Both of these surprisingly don't see that much play. Usually in Fortnite, the Auto Shotgun is going to be more so for players that are less comfortable with like editing as well as doing fancier things in Fortnite. But this is a weapon where it's hitting for really low numbers. We're talking like sub 20 damage a lot of the times. You're doing under 30 damage, which is kind of unfortunate because the shotguns are usually the highlight of Fortnite. Whereas now, and you're about to see this in this gameplay, these spray weapons are super powerful. The pistol, it's like whatever, it's just another pistol in Fortnite. Nothing too spectacular with a new pistol this season. But on top of that, the Striker SMG, really powerful. In fact, all of the spray weapons are super strong this season, and that's basically what the meta is. The meta is usually carrying around 2 of the Striker SMGs or 2 of the MK assault rifles, which is what I'm using right now. This weapon is super powerful. It's literally the meta of this season. It's got insane accuracy, really good fire rate, it's got good magazine size, and it's relatively common to pick up. It's not like a mythic or anything. Heck, this gun in the green version could be a mythic, but it also lets you aim down sights, so that's like another newer feature. There are snipers this season. Are they that good? Because of the MK assault rifle, and those do over 200 DPS, which means in 1 second you can down someone. It's not that bad to run a sniper. Like, it's not terrible, but a lot of times, a lot of people, if you're just going for wins, the MK assault rifle, again, it just outclasses like everything in the entirety of the game. This is the weapon this season. Everyone will be running this weapon, and for great reasons, because it is absolutely amazing. Now, I do want to also kind of cover more in the weapon category, but I want to talk about the map as well as new other items, but weapons have to be the first thing that we do go over. So the meta in terms of like the weapons has definitely shifted up this season. It's completely different. Like all the new weapons, we're talking multiple new ARs, we're talking 1 SMG, there's 2 shotguns, but like there's enough new weapons to be excited about to come back into Fortnite if you've been playing for a really long time. But there's also newer items, and going over the map, what are my thoughts on the map? It's cool. Like, there's enough new POIs because it's a completely different map, which I like. I also like how there's kind of a biome. There's like a desert area. There's like a green, like jungle-ish area. And on top of it, there's the ice area, which apparently is going to be melting over time, which I think that's a really cool idea. So for that reason, I like the map. But in terms of like the actual enemies, like I'm talking about the new mythic bosses and stuff like that, I do think that they could have added a little bit more content with that. Like, I really like the idea of like these new exotics. Like in the Spire, we had those like mythic boots that we got at one point. I like that. And like the Venom symbiotes, those are really cool. I want things that shift up gameplay consistently, like that are completely new, because the exotics and stuff, they're basically the same. There's nothing new in terms of like new weird items that would make Fortnite to be Fortnite. Like, for example, like the Boogie Bomb, it will definitely shift up the game. And things like the Shockwave launcher, those definitely changed up Fortnite. But some of the other things are just like things that did return back into the game that are like in the exotic category. But I wanted to basically talk about this thing because I think it's actually one of the most important things. So people are making fun of right now the meta of the game. So let me go and actually play this clip. Now this clip is actually from an older season of Fortnite, obviously, because we don't have this mechanic anymore of the like, you know, middle spire area and stuff like that. So I wanted to show off this clip because it's actually a very important thing that I want to mention. So shotguns have always been super important in Fortnite, and people are joking that like shotguns are terrible this season, let's not even run them because they're so bad. But the reason why I like Fortnite is because I can outplay my opponent. And I kind of want to show you guys an example of this right here. So I take my opponent's wall, I just do a simple little edit, I take a shot at him, I reset the wall, and I'm on the right side, so, you know, right hand peek. I'm going to open up a window and then start going towards him, and he's going to be like, okay, he's going to go in the window, I'm going to take a pre-fire shot. I then reset the wall, he breaks the wall with his shot, and then I'm able to hit him directly. That's what I would consider like a very basic understanding of like editing in Fortnite and kind of how to outplay your opponent. But now this season, and the reason why so many people are complaining about this season, I'll explain this really quick, it is technically subjective. Some people like a spray meta. These are 2 TikToks that I want to just play for you guys because it definitely explains this game right now for this season. So this guy's joking, saying he made a Chapter 3 warm-up map, and you're just going to see him, all he's doing is literally spraying people. And that's because that's what I've even showed you guys in the gameplay, and that's how it is. Again, it's subjective, but this guy's joking around. And it's not even just that he's joking around with it, like, you know, this is legitimately serious for other Fortnite players. This is Seperate PK, he's another content creator. He's won lots and lots of different tournaments. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with him, but there's even high-level players complaining about this too. And so, one viewer asks him, are you doing a no shotgun challenge? And this was his response.
Are you doing no shotgun challenge? No, I'm doing the play to win challenge.
And you can see he's got multiple SMGs, and that is because this season, that's what this is all about. And in fact, if you guys go and watch some of the gameplay, even from me, I'm just spraying with the MK7. It is just the way to go this season, and I personally do not like that as much as another season where I get to actually like engage with my opponent. And I feel like that's what Fortnite kind of lost out on. I'm going to fast forward back to about where we were with the gameplay. I think we were actually, yeah, we were about somewhere around over here with the gameplay. And I do feel like Fortnite really excels at being able to edit on your opponent. And the reason why people aren't using the shotgun is because not only are the SMGs as well as the MK7 assault rifle so powerful, but on top of that, the shotguns are really, really bad. So it's like a double strength to just being a spray meta, which again, it's subjective if you like it or not. I wrote that on my pros and my cons as a con, but that's again something subjective. I'm trying to kind of keep the video objective over here, and I'll kind of explain it in a second what my thoughts are on everything in terms of pros and cons, and also should you play this season. So I also want to mention you can hit people pretty hard. This is a gray striker pump shotgun. Even with a gray, you can technically hit for 142, but consistently the reason why people are upset is it's hitting for 20s and 30s like all over the board. Now going into the other items that got added to the game, the tent is a cool idea. Basically you can store weapons. It's kind of like the idea of like having a loadout. Like if you want like a very specific set of like weapons, you can pay gold to store your weapons and then get them in a later tent in another game. I think that their idea was kind of like testing the waters. People like this idea because it's very similar to what we would have in like Warzone and other games that let you kind of choose the loadout. So it's a cool idea. The whole spray heal, that's cool. There's also these guzzle things that will grant you max HP over time. But if you take any damages, it stops it. So it's basically heals. Then the spray, you can like run and spray yourself to heal, and it's cool. But in terms of like the mindset of would I recommend someone to play this season if you haven't played Fortnite just in general for a while, I would say Fortnite's always fun to return to once in a while, but like I know a lot of people don't like playing up against what they consider sweatier players, but that's just how Fortnite is. I mean, you're gonna have a mixed bag. There are gonna be lots of times where you can just literally spray people. Even good players, you're gonna be able to take them down with just spraying. I mean, you're seeing a lot of times. Normally how I like to play Fortnite is editing with shotguns, but it's literally not good compared to just literally spraying people through their builds, and you're going to consistently see people do that this season. But in terms of the pros, I like all of the heals. I think those are great. The new map is awesome. There's enough content as a content creator to have fun for a few weeks. Like there's all these different POIs. Apparently the ice is melting. There's going to be like new dinosaurs that pop out. They showed a lot of things in the trailers. There's tornadoes. There's a lot of new weather effects that will be added with the new update for the engine, I guess, which is awesome. I mean, there's 2 new ARs. There's 2 new shotguns. There's the sniper. There's enough, I guess, content for this, chapter to be like it's a real thing. Versus in some games, you might have a buff and a nerf to a few weapons, a couple number changes, and I think that there's enough content here to be excited about it, so I do like that. And I would consider all of those pros. Now, one other thing that is new here is the slide mechanic, and it's cool. I like it. It definitely allows a little bit of room for like outplaying your opponent. It's cool, like, especially since Fortnite is all about like building. It opens up the doors. Like, I don't really edit too hard and use it with like the cone mechanic, but there's a way to slide, you know, while you are editing, and it's cool. But it's more so for people that want to use shotguns, and it's better for like, you know, box fighting and like 1v1 scenarios. Versus in here, a lot of the meta is just spray at people, which you guys are gonna see. In terms of the cons, I wish there was more mythic bosses. I wish there were more exotics in the map. There's nothing new that changes gameplay too much for like everyday like fights, other than the whole slide mechanic. Like, I like things that are like the shockwave bow, where we had like the fire bow, and we had like the stink bow. Like, that was really cool. I liked that idea of the primal season, just because we had so many new cool things. We had a crafting system. What was weird is we had the cube crafting season last season. No one really used it because the cube weapons were kind of really meh. Like sideways weapons, if you guys remember those were really terrible. But I like the idea of this whole crafting thing. I wish they kind of evolved that or added weapon attachments. I was hoping for something else, but you know, maybe they'll add that later down the line, because we have the whole like MK7 scoped AR, and like I said, this is the way to play this season. Like, even some of the best players, if you watch how they're playing, they're just spraying through people's builds, because that's what, you know, you got to do. But I'm hoping they could add a little bit more content in the future. But those are my thoughts overall. There are some pros. Those are the cons. Again, cons, I wish there was like just more new like items to mess around with that are like weird Fortnite things. Apparently they're adding a mythic pizza. That was a leaked file. So like, I'm really interested in just weird stuff for a content creator. I think that Fortnite always does a good job with weird things. But overall, I'd say this season is good if you haven't played in a while. But if you don't like the spray meta, I'm not a fan of it, but I'm going to stick out. Hopefully they will buff shotguns, and that's the biggest change this season that I think a lot of people are looking forward to. But anyways, those are my thoughts. You guys can let me know yours down below in the comment section below. But if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn that bell if you want to see more Fortnite and more gaming content. And I'm out. Peace.